Hello, I'm Victor and this is The Junkyard. SFDebris, whose channel I've posted a link to, has undertaken the year-long process of reviewing all of the Star Trek films one by one. Well, he's finally gotten to Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, and in celebration of this, I'm going to do my own mini-review. Why 4 in particular?
Well, The Voyage Home was the first Star Trek film I saw in completion. My only exposure to Star Trek up to that point had been an episode or two of Next Gen and the first season of Voyager. Seeing Star Trek IV didn't turn me into a huge Trekkie. In fact, I've still only seen a handful of the original series episodes, but it did propel me into seeing the rest of the Trek films.
Before giving my thoughts, let me do a really short recap of the film.
The Enterprise crew is in trouble with the Federation. Fortunately, a space dildo is attacking Earth so they can go and save it. They go back in time to get whales. They need to split up and get quest items before they can actually get the whales. Chekhov acts like a tourist and almost dies of his own stupidity. Scotty screws with the flow of history so he can build a box. Kirk and Spock try to get whales from a crazy woman, but her superiors wisely remove them from her custody. This makes their character rather useless, but she still tags along. Finally, they get the whales and save the world. Yay!
Okay, now some random thoughts.
First, am I the only one to notice that both the parents from Seventh Heaven have had co-starring roles in Trek films? Does anyone else think they should have brought in Jessica Biel for Star Trek XI just for the sake of novelty? And, you know, green Jessica Biel? Second, there was something funny about the relationship between Kirk and Whale Lady. He was working in a standard mode, that kinda business with a chance of pleasure attitude, the entire time he's with her, but it never goes anywhere beyond a kiss. Maybe if he was a few tons heavier and able to speak in high-pitched song.
And on a side note, never try to start a relationship with someone in the past unless you have very, very carefully charted out your entire family tree. Otherwise it'll just end in tears. And incest.
Third, is the Federation stupid? They had access to a Klingon ship. How do they not have any proper cloaking technology by Next Gen? Whatever.
And now on to my actual review.
I guess the value of my opinion here comes from the fact that this was my first real brush with Trek. Watching it, I was unfamiliar with any but the most basic information about the original Trek series or movies, but I still enjoyed it. It stood alone. I don't think Star Trek III or V would have had the same appeal to a newcomer. It was also funny. Even when the jokes got corny, I could still laugh, since the humor came from the characters acting naturally in a strange context. Too much we rely on people acting funny, which I just find annoying. The one big criticism I have with this one is that it's dated. Any time travel story that takes place in present day will be. Back to the Future handled this well by being aware of the fact that the 80s would one day be a source of nostalgia. You got some of this with, for instance, the Chekhov scenes, but others, like pretty much any of the I Love Whale scenes, lacked this self-awareness.
So yeah, that's Star Trek The Voyage Home. If you, like me, are not a Trekkie or a Trekker or a Trekologist, I can say that this film, while not a good representative of the Star Trek films or even the series as a whole, is still a fun movie. Well, this has been Victor with The Junkyard. Thanks for watching.